I was listening to random videos on my commute to work this morning, and it started playing prepping videos. And apparently, right now, having a list of 50 items that we need to go buy before the election, apparently that's just a really hot topic, and it started playing one after another on that. I thought, okay, I'm curious as to what they have to say, so I'm listening, and I heard a couple things on there. I thought, oh, that's pretty good. But for the most part, it just didn't feel right. Something about that was bothering me. And then one guy came on, and one of his 50 items was apparently we all need to go buy camping equipment. Okay, now I just lost it at that point. I'm sorry. Just my humble opinion. None of us need to go buy camping equipment unless we're going camping. All right, so I just had to cut that stuff off, quit listening to it. But I couldn't figure out exactly why that bothered me so much. Well, then later on at work, I ran into a friend that I have not seen in a long time, and we were just catching up on some things, and he's telling me about a few things he's got going on, and I'm telling him about the remodeling the house, and then we started talking about the economy not looking particularly good and personal finances. Where's a good place to invest our money right now? And everybody's trying to find a safe place to put our money, but there's so much uncertainty, who knows? And then that's when I realized my house is my investment right now. I'm investing in the future by putting my cash into my house. And then when I get finished remodeling the house, my overhead's going to be significantly lower, and it's just going to help me in a lot of ways. And then that's when it hit me. That's what bothered me about the list of 50 items and all that stuff. We shouldn't be prepping for the future. We need to be investing for the future. So what is investing, and how is that any different than prepping? Okay, well, investing, by my thinking, that's doing something right now, making a sacrifice right now so that I can prosper in the future. Versus prepping, it's doing something right now so that I can just get by in the future. Now, don't get me wrong, if some freak occurrence happens, just getting by is way better than not. I admit that. But I don't want to just get by. I want to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, so what can I do now? What can I invest time, effort, money in right now that's going to help me get ahead in the future? Okay, that's what I mean by investing. And perfect examples, the house that I'm working on. Okay, that's going to lower my overhead cost. My utility bills are going to be less. I'll be able to expand my garden, have more fruit trees, cut expenses. It's going to benefit me in the future. Plus, it's going to improve my quality of living because I love doing all that stuff anyway. I already do it. Okay, and I think that's being able to reduce our inputs. That's what we're talking about here. That's going to be, I think, important going into the future. It's important now. Okay, we're all feeling the effects of inflation, especially at the grocery store, at the gas pump, energy costs. Okay, if we can reduce our expenses, that just really helps us. Okay, and then if we're enjoying what we're doing in the process, well, that's just even better. And so that's investing for the future. I don't want to go buy a bunch of canned goods, which I have a few and I have a few more. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I want to make sure I have a place for my canned goods. So I'm building a pantry, a nice pantry, just for storing canned goods and things like that at the new house. I currently don't have space for the canned goods. They would be in my way. Okay, that's investing for the future. All right, and another great example, my bench here. Okay, this is a joiner's bench. This is for a woodworker, and I do woodworking. Okay, I spent a lot of time and effort, not much money making this, but a lot of time and effort many, many, many years ago. And this has served me very well for a really long time, and it's allowed me to be very productive and make a lot of things. And this was an investment that has paid off many times over. And then my woodworking tools. This is a great example. These tools aren't very expensive. Now, I got a few tools here that they're pretty pricey. I was able to at the time and I wanted them. But most of these are not expensive at all. In case you haven't noticed, there's not a huge demand for hand tools. Most people don't do this anymore. All right, so my tools were an investment, but they have served me so well, and I have gotten so much use and enjoyment out of them, and been able to make things and do things like the tool cabinet that the tools are in. I built this using these tools. Okay, I bought the tools many years ago. They didn't keep costing me. All right, they're still here, and they're going to last several lifetimes. Unlike so many of the things that we do normally buy, like this, that the battery's going to just die in it one day, in a year or two maybe. Okay, so then I've just got to throw this piece of plastic brick away and go get another one, and the service plan that goes with it, and it's just going to keep costing me. Now, it's useful, don't get me wrong. It makes me more productive in several ways. Okay, so it's worth having. Right. But this is not an investment. This was an investment, and a very good one, and an investment that I'm so glad I made. Okay, and then there's so many other little investments that went along with this. My strop. Okay, this piece of leather glued onto a piece of board, and it's got a little rubbing compound on there, jeweler's polish, and it's for sharpening my tools. Okay, so no little handheld gadgets and plastic thingies, and just leather and some sharpening stones that last a really, really, really long time. And once I developed my skills and learned how to use this and do it the proper way, well, it doesn't take but just a second. I can put an absolutely outstanding edge on any of my tools, and that's what I was just doing. Was I had used these tools on the new house. Okay, so the tools are even coming in handy for that, and I just brought them in and wanted to touch them up before I put them away, and they're pretty much there. Okay, that's pretty sharp. I'm getting the paper in different places, and it's just going right through it. So, and let me go on and check this one too, and then I know these are done. That's how you know a tool's sharp. Well, you can just take your edge, and you're not going up and down, but you can just run it across paper, and it just, okay, that's sharp edge. Okay, and that's also, I think, another interesting thing about stuff. Stuff costs us. Okay, and even if we don't realize it, the storage cost, the maintenance cost, so forth, I do have to maintain my tools, and it does take time. Okay, but they're useful, and I keep using them. It's worth that little bit of maintenance cost. Whereas when we're just randomly buying stuff from a list, 50 items, camping gear. That's what bothered me on the camping gear. Okay, and the intent was, okay, if you're just on foot walking to who knows where in the wilderness, you need camping gear, okay. Or the power goes out, okay, you got your little camping stove. And camping gear is not well made generally. It's made for camping. It's made for just temporary use, a couple weekends a year, maybe a few weekends a year, and it's made to be really lightweight so you can carry it long distances, and it's not made to last. Okay? I don't want something that's not made to last, especially in a serious situation. And what are the odds of us ending up out in the wilderness trying to get to wherever during an emergency situation? All right, I'm not saying it's not impossible, but okay, at that point, we're probably in a lot of trouble. Forget the camping gear. Okay, so what are things we can invest in right now to make sure we didn't need the camping gear one day? So those are just some of my thoughts on investing in the future versus prepping, and I really want to encourage all of you to give that some serious thought. What are some things you can do now that's going to allow you to get ahead in the future and have a better quality of life? Okay, exercise, getting in shape. That's investing in the future, developing skills, investing in yourself, not in things. Okay, and I think this was the other thing that really bothered me about all of that with the list of 50 items. Just buying stuff, that's the quick, easy fix. Well, that's what's got our nation in such bad shape right now. It's just a quick, easy fix for everything. And just don't really fix the problem, just patch it over until eventually the whole nation now is like a house of cards ready to fall in. Okay. I think it's time we quit trying to take the quick, easy fix. All right, so yeah, invest in yourself and figure out, okay, if the whole house of cards does fall in, how are you going to prosper in the future? Forget about that can of beans that it can maybe keep you alive for a couple more days. Where are you going to put your row of beans so that you've got a lot of beans to eat, and squash and zucchini and okra and all the good stuff that most of us like to eat? And if you don't like eating that kind of stuff, well, you need to learn to. It's healthy and it's good for us. That's investing in the future. Okay. All right, I feel better about talking about that now because that really did bother me today. And the one item that I thought was really good that I appreciated hearing, one lady said a box of Bibles. That was on her list of 50 items. And that way you make sure you've got a Bible in the future and you've got Bibles for family and friends in the future. I thought that was a really good one. And that was definitely an investment in the future also, I think. And just to go along with that and kind of what I was talking about here, just books in general. Okay, I think that's a good investment for the future. But do you have a place for your books? Do you have bookshelves, shelf space, that type thing? All right. Don't go behind a bunch of stuff that you don't have a place for. If we go buy stuff and we're not even prepared as far as having a place to put the stuff when we get it, then how is that prepping for the future? Anyway, that's just my thoughts. God bless and have a great day.